Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Master reading part 1 exercise electronic tahlilini boshlaymiz. Canada geese are large blue and white birds. Kanada g'ozlari kattagina ko'k va oq qushlar hisoblanadi. When autumn arrives, they have to fly south where the weather is warmer. Qachonki kuz kelganda ular o'sha janubga, ya'ni havosi iliqroq bo'lgan joyga uchishiga to'g'ri keladi. The winters are so cold in Canada that all species of birds may die if they stay here. Kanadada qish juda ham sovuq bo'ladi. Agar ular Kanadada qolsa, o'lib ketishi mumkin qushlar. Birinchi savolimizning javobi birds bo'ladi, ya'ni may die, ya'ni ular bu qush turlari o'lib ketishi mumkin deyilyapti. Shuning uchun turlari aynan species so'zi berilgan va tepada aynan g'oz qush turi haqida gapirilgan, shuning uchun birds bo'ladi. Last spring, Bill Leishman found 16 young Canada geese on his farm. O'tgan yil bahorda Bill Leishman 16 ta Kanada g'ozlarini o'zining fermasidan topib oldi. They had lost their parents. Ular ota-onasini yo'qotib qo'yishgandi. Bill thought these young birds won't know what to do in the autumn. Bill o'yladi, bu yosh qushlar kuzda nima qilishni bilmaydi. Bill had a small plane and he decided to teach the birds to follow him. Billda kichkinagina samolyoti bor edi va u qaror qildi, uni izidan qushlarni uchishini o'rgatishga qaror qildi. All of the summer he went on short trips in his plane and the young geese flew after him. Shu yoz bo'yi u o'zining samolyotida kichkina sayohatchalar qilib bordi, davom ettirdi va yosh g'ozchalarni izidan uchishga o'rgatdi, ya'ni uchdi. Ikkinchi savolimizning javobi plane bo'ladi, ya'ni short trips qildi deyapti, kichkina sayohatchalar qildi deyapti. Nimada bo'ladi? Samolyotda, chunki aynan tepada samolyot deb aytib o'tganda. When the cold weather arrived in autumn, Bill flew to Virginia in the United States, 600 miles south of his home in Canada. O'sha kuzda sovuq ob-havo kirib kelganida Bill Virginiyaga uchdi, ya'ni Amerika Qo'shma Shtatlaridagi Virginiya shtatiga uchdi. Ya'ni Kanadadagi uyidan 600 mil janubdan 600 mil uzoqda turgan, o'sha janubda turgan. Demak, Virginiyaga uchdi. Uchinchi savolimizning javobi weather bo'ladi. Nimaga aynan weather? Kuzda sovuq, demak ob-havo bo'ladida. Cold so'zini aynan qo'ygan. Shuning uchun uchinchi savolimizning javobi weather bo'ladi. Winter bo'lmaydi, chunki bu yerda kuzda sovuq qish kirib keldi demaysizlar, naproot sovuq havo oqimi kirib keldi deysizlar. The geese followed him all the way. Barcha o'sha g'ozlar butun yo'l davomida unga ergashdi. Bill left the geese in Virginia and he returned home. Bill o'sha g'ozlarni Virginiyada qoldirdi va u uyiga qaytdi. This spring Bill was waiting for the birds to come back. Bu bahor Bill o'sha qushlarni orqaga qaytib kelishini kutayotgan edi. They didn't arrive, so Bill flew by plane to Virginia to get them. Ular yetib kelishmadi, shuning uchun Bill ularni olib kelish uchun Virginiyaga samolyoti orqali uchdi. Uchdi bo'ladi, ya'ni flew bo'ladi, o'tgan zamon shaklida aynan tepada berilgan samolyot orqali, demak uchadi. He looked for them for 2 weeks, but he couldn't find them. U 2 hafta davomida ularni qidirdi, lekin u topolmadi ularni. When he arrived back home, he found the geese waiting for him. O'sha uyga qaytganida Bill shu narsani bildiki, o'sha g'ozlar uni kutayotgan edi. They had found their way home without him. Ya'ni o'sha g'ozlar usiz ham yo'lni topib kelishgan edi. 5-savolimizning javobi aynan way bo'ladi. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Master reading part 1 exercise 52 ning tahlilini boshlaymiz. When Esther left school at the age of 6, and her aunt Florrie gave her $500 for her birthday. Esther maktabni 16 yoshda yakunlagandan keyin uning ammasi Florrie uning tug'ilgan kuniga $500 pul berdi. Birinchi savolimizning javobi aynan school so'zi bo'ladi, ya'ni 16 yoshida Esther nimanidir tugatganda, demak maktabni bo'ladi. Aynan keyingi gaplarda school so'zi bor. Most of Esther's friends decided to go to college, but Esther used her aunt's money to start her own business. Ko'pgina o'sha Estherning do'stlari kollejga kirishga qaror qildi, lekin Esther ammasini pulidan o'zini biznesini boshlashda foydalandi. She bought fruit, sugar and some glass jars and began making her own jam. U o'sha mevalar, shakar va bir nechta shisha idishlar sotib oldi va o'zini murobbosini tayyorlay boshladi. She sold the jam for $100 a jar to her friends and she soon doubled her aunt's $500. U dastavval o'sha bitta banka shisha murabboni $1 ga o'rtoqlarga sotdi va tezda ammasini $500 pulini 2 baravarga oshirdi. Ikkinchi savolimizning javobi aynan jam bo'ladi, chunki murabboni tayyorlagandan keyin o'sha murabbo sotgan bo'ladi va 2 jam. At first, her parents didn't want Esther to spend her time making jam and they thought that she should study instead. Dastavval uning ota-onasi Estherni murabbo tayyorlash bilan vaqtini o'tkazishini xohlamadi, chunki ular Esther o'qishi kerak buni o'rniga deb o'ylardi. They hoped that one day she would be a teacher or a doctor. Ular umid qilishardiki, bir kun kelib o'sha Esther yo bir o'qituvchi yoki shifokor bo'lishini. But Esther didn't listen to them. Lekin Esther ularni eshitmadi. She just kept on jam making bo'ladi. Uchinchi savolimizning javobi, ya'ni u faqatgina o'sha murabbo tayyorlashni davom ettirdi. Murabboni nima qilishni davom ettirgan bo'ladi? Albatta making bo'ladi, ya'ni tayyorlash. After a few months, she started selling it to the local market. Bir necha oylardan keyin u o'sha mahalliy bozorga ularni sotishni boshladi, ya'ni murabboni sotishni boshladi. And then she started making orange juice. Keyin u apelsinlik nima tayyorlay boshladi? Sharbat tayyorlay boshladi. She sold this to a school where one of her friends worked. U uni bitta maktabga, ya'ni o'rtoq do'stlaridan biri ishlaydigan maktabga sotdi. Demak, 4-savolimizning javobi friends bo'ladi, ya'ni uning do'stlaridan biri degan ma'noda. Keyin after 2 years, her business was very large and her parents were very pleased with her. 2 yildan keyin uning biznesi juda ham kattalashdi va uning ota-onasi undan juda ham xursand bo'ldi. 5-savolimizning javobi biznes bo'ladi. She made all kinds of food which she sold to shops and supermarkets. U barcha turdagi oziq-ovqatlarni tayyorlay olardi, do'kon va supermarketlarga sotish uchun. She was so busy that she had to get some people to work for her. Juda ham band edi va shuning uchun u uchun bir nechta odamlarni ishga yo'llash. Bismillahirrohmanirrohim. Multilevel master reading part 1 exercise 53ning tahlilini boshlaymiz. Bill Prince Smith was a farmer and a teacher and a dancer before he became a writer of children's books at the age of 60. Bill Prince Smith fermer bo'lgan, o'qituvchi va tish doktori bo'lgan. U 60 yoshida bolalar kitobining yozuvchisi bo'lishidan oldin. Now 13 years later he was written more than 80 books. U ayni paytda 13 yildan keyin, ya'ni hozir 80 dan ortiq kitob yozgan. Ayni hozirgacha 13 yil ichida. Demak, birinchi savolimizning javobi books bo'ladi, 80 ta kitob. Every day he goes into his office and writes. Har kuni u ofisiga kirib ketadi va yozadi. In the evening he gives the work to his wife to read. Kechqurun u o'zini ishini xotiniga o'qishiga beradi. She tells me when she doesn't like something, says Bill. Bill aytadi, u menga agar nimadir yoqmasa menga aytadi. My 10 grandchildren don't live near here, but they also read my stories and say if they are good or bad. Mening 10 ta o'sha navaram menga yaqin joyda yashashmaydi, lekin ular ham o'sha hikoyalarimni o'qishadi va ular yaxshimi yoki yomonligi haqida aytishadi. Ikkinchi savolimizning javobi read bo'ladi, ya'ni ular ham o'qishadi. And so Bill has learned what young children want to read. Va o'sha Bill o'rganadi, aynan yosh bolalar nimani o'qishini xohlashganini aynan shunda o'rganadi. Bill writes about the life in his village and on the farmers near it. Bill o'sha qishloq hayot haqida yoki o'sha yaqindagi ferma, unga yaqin turgan ferma haqida yozadi. His 5th book is his favorite. Uning 5-chi kitobi uning sevimli kitobi hisoblanadi. The sheepdog is about a farmer and the dog that helps him. Sheepdog o'sha asari aynan bitta fermer va bitta it haqida, ya'ni o'sha fermerga yordam bergan it haqida. I have always liked animals, says Bill, and dogs are so clever, they learn very quickly. Men har doim hayvonlarni juda ham yaxshi ko'rganman, aytadi Bill, va itlar eng aqllisi va ular juda ham tez o'rganishadi. Last year the food was made into a film with real animals and actors. O'tgan yili kitob film qilindi haqiqiy hayvonlar va aktyorlar ishtirokida. The filmmakers used the lights computer technology to make people think that the animals are speaking. Filmmaker, ya'ni film tayyorlovchilar o'sha oxirgi kompyuter texnologiyalaridan foydalanishdi. Odamlar aynan o'sha hayvonlar gapiryapti deb o'ylashi uchun. 3-savolimizning javobi aynan animals bo'ladi. Bill was very pleased with the film. Bill juda ham o'sha filmdan minnatdor bo'ldi, juda ham xursand bo'ldi. 4-savolimizning javobi film bo'ladi. Aynan film tayyorlanayotgani haqida gap ketganda. Sometimes filmmakers change books, but they didn't change mine, and I love the film. Ba'zida o'sha filmmakerslar kitoblarni o'zgartirishadi, lekin ular menikini o'zgartirmadi, ya'ni mening kitobimni degan ma'noda aytgan. 5-savolimizning javobi change bo'ladi, o'zgartirmadi va menga bu film Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Multilevel reading part 1 exercise 54 tahlilini boshlaymiz. In a park in a small town in central England, John Pickering cuts the grass and waters the flowers. Angliyaning markaziy shahrida kichkinagina o'sha markaziy shahridagi parkda John Pickering o'tlarni kesardi va gullarni sug'orardi. But all last week he was in Tokyo and millions of Japanese people watched the 35-year-old gardener on television because John is the most famous singer in Japan at the moment. Lekin o'sha butun o'tgan hafta davomida u Tokioda edi va millionlab yaponiyalik odamlar 35 yoshli bog'bonning televizorda ko'rishdi, chunki Jon ayni paytda Yaponiyada mashhur qo'shiqchi. John visited Japan a few months ago to sing in dance clubs in Osaka and Nagoya. Bir necha oy oldin o'sha Jon Yaponiyaga tashrif buyurgan Osaka va Nagoyadagi dance, ya'ni raqs klublarida kuylash uchun. Birinchi savolimizning javobi aynan sing bo'ladi, ya'ni kuylash uchun. A disc jockey heard his songs and played them on his radio show. Disc jockey degani ya'ni DJ degani. Ya'ni DJ uning qo'shiqlarini eshitdi va o'zini radio shouda uni namoyish qildi, qo'ydi, ya'ni o'sha DJ. Hundreds of young people phoned the radio and asked the disc jockey to play the songs once more. O'sha yuzlab odamlar radioga qo'ng'iroq qilishdi va o'sha DJdan qayta yana bir marta uni qo'shiqlarini qo'yib berishini so'radi. Uchinchi savolimizning javobi aynan songs bo'ladi. Ikkinchi savolimizning javobi radio bo'ladi. Ya'ni qayerga qo'ng'iroq qilishdi? Radioga, chunki radio shouda DJ ko'rsatib berayotgan edi va uni qo'shiqlarini qayta yana bir marta qo'yib berishini so'radi. Uchinchi savolimizning javobi songs bo'ladi. John, who used the name John Otis when he sings in Japan, is not going to stop working in the park in England. John o'sha John Otis deb nomlanadi, o'zini John Otis deb nomladi o'sha Yaponiyada qo'shiq kuylaganida va Angliyadagi parkda ishlashni to'xtatmagan edi. to'xtatmoqchi emasdi. He doesn't know yet how much he will earn from his music. U aynan bilmaydi o'sha o'zini musiqasidan qancha ishlab topishini. I must keep my job in the park, he says. U aytadi, men parkdagi ishimni saqlab qolishim kerak. To'rtinchi savolimizning javobi park bo'ladi, ya'ni parkda ishlayotganligi uchun aynan ma'no jihatdan shu to'g'ri keladi. I still have to pay my bills. The other gardeners don't know that he is famous in Japan. Beshinchi savolimizning javobi aynan famous bo'ladi, mashhur, chunki ma'no jihatdan aynan shu so'z to'g'ri keladi. Men haligacha o'sha o'zimni pullarimni to'lashga to'g'ri kelyapti va boshqa bog'bonlar bilmaydiki, u Yaponiyada mashhur bo'lganini. They never heard him sing. Ular hech qachon uni kuylaganini eshitishmagan. John's wife Denise, a hospital worker, says. Uni rafiqasi Denise, ya'ni o'sha shifoxona ishchisi aytadiki, this will not change the way we live. I only know John Pickering, not John Otis. Bu narsa bizni yashash tarzimizni umuman o'zgartirmadi. Men faqat o'sha John Pickeringni bilaman, John Otisni. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Part 1 exercise 55 ning tahlilini boshlaymiz. I was born in the United States, but I have written several travel books about England. Men Amerika Qo'shma Shtatlarida tug'ilganman, lekin Angliya haqida bir nechta sayohat kitoblarini yozdim. I lived there with my wife and 4 children for 20 years, but for the last 3 years we have lived in the United States. Birinchi savolimizning javobi years bo'ladi, ya'ni oxirgi 3 yil degan ma'noni bildiradi. Men bu yerda, ya'ni o'sha Angliyada xotinim va bolalarim bilan, 4 ta bolam bilan 20 yil davomida yashadik. Lekin oxirgi 3 yildan beri biz Amerika Qo'shma Shtatlarida yashaymiz. Birinchi savolimizning javobi aynan years bo'ladi. Our children are now learning about life in the United States. Bizning bolalarimiz ayni paytda o'sha Amerika Qo'shma Shtatlaridagi hayot haqida o'rganishyapti. Ikkinchi savolimiz children bo'ladi. I'm sure they will be happier because they have lived in 2 countries. Men ishonamanki ular juda ham baxtli. Chunki baxtliroq, xursand bo'lishadi, chunki ular ikkita mamlakatda yashashdi. Uchinchi savolimizning javobi lived bo'ladi. I like Britain and I want to return, but my daughter Felicity is going to start college here soon, so it won't be for another 4 years. Men Britaniyani yaxshi ko'raman va qaytishni xohlaman, lekin mening qizim Felicity aynan shu yerda kollejni boshlamoqchi yaqinda, shuning uchun bu aynan 4 yilda bu amalga oshmaydi, yaqin 4 yilda. I've just been to England for 6 weeks to work on a radio program about the English language and also to talk about the book I have just written. 4-savolimizni javobi written bo'ladi. Men o'sha Angliyada 6 hafta davomida bo'ldim radio programmada ishlash uchun. Ya'ni ingliz tili haqidagi va ayni paytda o'sha yaqinda yozgan kitobim haqida gaplash uchun. 4-savolimiz javobi demak written bo'ladi. Most writers don't like doing this. They don't like traveling around the country selling their books. 5-savolimizning javobi books bo'ladi. Ya'ni kitoblarni sotishni. Ko'pgina yozuvchilar bu narsani xohlashmaydi. Ular o'sha mamlakat bo'ylab sayohat qilishni yoqtirmaydi yoki o'sha o'zlarining kitoblarini sotishni yoqtirmaydi. 5-savolimizning javobi books. I don't mind it. Menga buni ahamiyati yo'q. I like visiting new places and meeting lots of people. Men yangi joylarga tashrif buyurishni va ko'plab odamlar bilan ko'rishishni yaxshi ko'raman. It's very different from the life I have in the United States when I'm writing. Bu juda ham men hayotimda ayni paytda o'sha yozayotganimda, ayni asarlarni yozayotganimda va Amerika Qo'shma Shtatlarida yashayotganim men hayotimdan farq qiladi. In England, people draw me around in big cars and I stayed in inexpensive hotels. Angliyada odamlar meni kattagina mashinalarda demak olib borishardi va men qimmat mehmonxonalarda turardim. It was good because I didn't have to pay any bills. Bu juda ham yaxshi edi, chunki men hech qanday pul to'lashimga to'g'ri kelmasdi. Everyone was kind to me and it was fun. Hamma menga mehribon edi va bu juda ham